What up? What up? It's been I think it's been a couple weeks, a few weeks maybe, since the last episode. I've been well, I've been uploading to the blog and to the podcast way more frequently, I think. So what I read and seen about the algorithm is that if your channel hasn't been there for a while, it is wary of you, and even though it may push your videos, it may not push it like if your channel had been there for a while. And I know this channel is pretty new. I haven't my gamer channel is actually doing better than this channel, Jimmy Disco, and it gets, I don't know, it just gets, it does better in general than this channel does. So I have been trying to space these videos out to give this channel a chance to grow and just exist. And I'm in no rush either, right? Like, I'm in no rush. I have a job, regular job, and I enjoy the blog and the podcast, and I enjoy just doing these anyway without trying to become a YouTube star or anything. So if this is your first time with us, I'm James Taylor, the Proper Gentleman's Club. My idea of there's a few things that I wanted to do with this channel, really. And that is, one, I always wanted to bring a message of hope. Always bring a message of hope. I want to touch on some touchy subjects from here to there, especially if something's bothering me. It gives me a chance to vent and also be mirrored back and see, because a lot of times if you get hot about something, somebody can also show you why there's no reason to be hot about it. So, and then I want to look into just what it is to bring character as a man in the current landscape of society, and really Western society, because Western society's weird. And so with that being said, I think there's a couple of things that I just wanted to talk about today. Nothing crazy, nothing deep, nothing really too exciting. But it's all tied in together, really. So I saw the brackets for the classes now. And so there's lower class, there's lower middle class, there's mid-tier middle class, there's upper middle class, and then there's the wealthy. And so lower middle class is at 58K. And then the upper tier of the middle class is at 139K. Past that, you start getting to the more wealthy, over 139K. And it's funny because there's also information talking about guys who make a certain amount compared to the rest of the world. And even if you're lower middle class in the United States, you may be upper class in other parts of the world due to your income. And so I'm looking at this thinking, wow, like, I mean, I'm not lower middle class yet, especially as the years go on, but the way that things are going, for instance, I'm in an industry that we bring stuff in from overseas a lot, and I'm sure a lot of industries do. So if you know one thing, you know that an increase in goods coming in is going to raise prices here, but we don't export a lot of goods here. We import a lot of goods. I'm interested to see how that plays out. And if you know more than me, please, comments. Next, the Luka and AD trade. And I agree with the analysts when they're saying that this changes the scope of the landscape, whereas like the stars don't control so much anymore. And I think that's what's going to happen with football, basketball, and we'll see what happens with baseball. I don't know where baseball gets their money, but that's kind of crazy. And I say this because when I look at the job market for us normal people, it's the same. We can't just go demanding crazy money anymore. We can't go demanding crazy things anymore. Like that period's over. Um, that period's over for all of us, and we're seeing the athletes now affected. The Mavericks basically said, "We're not going to give you the extra 100 million or the supermax contract. It's not going to work out like that," which is wild. That's wild because that was somebody with extra like long term potential too. So, what does that mean for the rest of us? And I'll try to make a point here at the end that's not going to be so dire. Um, I do know one thing. I do believe one thing. I never agree with any politician. I think that what's happening now is a result of, and so this is what my last blog post I think is going to be about. I haven't finished the article yet, but it's logic versus emotion. And I think since the Me Too movement, that a lot of the way that we've run things in America has been on emotion. Okay. And if you're a guy, running off emotion makes no sense because we are aware that emotions change from moment to moment. And if you're in that moment to moment, which is good, like when you're working, you should be in the now. But you can't run things off emotion. You can't make laws based on how people feel. And that's what the left was doing for so long. It's how we feel, so you got to do this so we feel better about it. And to live off virtue signaling, because here's the thing, feelings change, virtues change. Like, we used to burn people at the stake way back when, right? We don't burn people at the stake now because our virtues changed. So what's okay today may not be okay tomorrow. What was okay yesterday is not okay today. And so to run things based off of how we feel and what's okay right now, completely illogical. And what people are feeling, what they're really feeling is things going back into balance. Because what you felt was a run of emotions there for about 8 years, where you say this, you're canceled. You do this, canceled. Don't get out of line or we'll cancel you. Like the woke crowd, like all that, that's done. That's done. And honestly, I'm happy for it because we have to get back to reality at some point. We couldn't keep living in dreamland where anything and everything goes. And if I throw a tantrum, I can get what I want. That's not life. And that's not nature. That's not natural. That's not natural to live that way. And so for me, especially as a man, my biggest thing that, and I'm just letting this come out naturally. I didn't have a script for this today. I don't even know what the title of this video is going to be. So hopefully the title matches this content. The biggest thing that I don't understand is, so the empathy allows you to put yourself in someone else's shoes and really see where that other person is coming from. And what we tried to do, men, after this Me Too movement, is really try to understand where women were coming from. And so we tried to adjust. What happened was the adjustments didn't matter. I would venture to say that a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women operate out of that hive mentality where, because like I see so many women on their phones in traffic, like one hand on the phone, one hand on the wheel, scrolling as they're driving because they're trying to consume all this information. And I would say, there are guys who consume for ridiculous content, but the biggest difference is that women aren't necessarily, from what I've seen, consuming to make things better as a whole. As a whole. And I've said this on some of my other stuff that men, when put in positions, I'm not talking about the wealthy people here. I'm talking about just people in general. Like in a general overall sense, a man is going to try to take care of his family. And you never hear that a woman's going to try to take care of her family. what you do know is that women are going to try to take care of themselves, put money in their own pocket. You're never going to, and so the whole divorce thing, the women, like, men have been demonized for so long here, and that's an emotional thing. That's an emotional thing. I don't know if that's a logical thing without taking accountability. It's not logical to continue demonizing another party and say that you're wrong all the time. And what I'm getting at is that while men are going to try to take care of their family when they're put in positions to do so, because that's so natural for us, and I don't believe that's like when a woman's not at home nurturing, like when she gets into her masculine, she doesn't do the masculine the way that the man does it. She can't. And I'm saying this because my point is, men were here to toil. We are built to work. That's the structure of our body. It's the structure of our mind. It's the structure of our souls. We were put here to toil and then to die. It says it in the word. People read that, but they skim past this stuff and they make it what they want it to be. Men were here to work. We're here to work. Women aren't here to work like we do, but they want to. What happens is over time, that desire, as it wanes, they wonder why they don't feel good about the work, and you're not supposed to. The work is not supposed to give you some sense of whatever. Men understand that after time, you can look back and be proud of what you did. We're here to build, to toil, and we know that. And women, for whatever reason, I know it's the propaganda. Like social media has benefited women so much in ways that they don't even understand. I've tried out some of these other apps, right? So I got on TikTok, propergentlemansclub, or James William PGC, I think is the name. Yeah, James William PGC on TikTok. I know that TikTok is run by women. It's not run by men. Instagram is like, 60-40 women to men. I got on Lemonade when TikTok was down just to check it out. And like the more I click back in there, I'm uploading a couple things, but the more I click back in there, it's like another woman's platform. And I do understand that due to optics, not necessarily truth, there is a place that women have begun to take up because of optics, because men are very visual creatures. And so women will have followings of women and men. Men will typically have followings of men. Our content is different, but women's content also attracts men. I'm not sure if men's content attracts women so much, unless you're operating in that brain space, right? What's my point in all this? My point is gear up for a very masculine ride for the next few years. And I think it has to be that way, regardless of whether it was so-and-so in office or whatever, because we've been out of balance for so long. I think it's a good thing for this country. I don't really care how it goes down. I don't really care if I slip into lower middle class or I slip into lower class. Those are some things for me to look at because, again, as a man, I'm constantly comparing myself and looking at where I compare to other men because there is some desire for me to. So you've got the bell curve, right? You've got your 15% outliers on either side of the bell curve, and then you've got your 70%. My goal is to always be probably in the top 25 to 20%. I don't really care about being top 15, top 10, like having a lot of money. But I do believe that as a man, I should be making, I don't know, $300,000 a year, probably. I'm not at that. But I mean, like, easily. Like, why haven't I ran my own business? And it's because of fear. Like, why haven't I gone out on a limb more? And it's because of fear. Why have I stayed in my soft place, my safe place more? It's because of fear. And I think a lot of that has been because of the way that things have been going the last 8 years. Like, men have been operating out of a state of, am I going to get in trouble for doing this? And I think that's kind of going away now. I think things will be a little bit quieter on the landscape of rights and all this and whatnot. And regardless, I'll fight. Like, that's why I'm not worried about it. Like, men know at the end of the day we can fight. So there is hope. I think there is a strength that you should have moving forward, fellas. Women, I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is about women that they don't understand is that they're always going to have their space now that social media is around. And so you should take advantage of that. I think that it's a beautiful place to be in when you can just show up, and people will show up because of optics. People will say, like, well, a lot of women will say that's not what we want, that's not what we like. But men also can say that. Men want to be loved and appreciated for who we are, but we know that our job is to work and to provide. Like, I'm supposed to build wealth so that my family can be good after I'm gone. That has nothing to do with who I am and the things that I enjoy as a person. And so same goes to women. They don't want to accept that part, that your value is the fact that you show up and provide comfort. Our value is the fact that we show up and provide structure. And those two are supposed to work together. I told a girl yesterday, I said, women have to stop this I gotta have me because no one else does mentality, because that's what the universe is gonna keep sending you. If you say that, that's what the universe is gonna keep sending you. You take care of this because you got you. No one else got you. Not at being willing to accept support or help. You have to be open to that. Even if you're handling your own business, you have to be open to that. I've had to learn that as a guy. And so we're in this more masculine space now where things are happening at an accelerated rate. And my thought process is handle your business. Handle your business. Get into a business that you like to operate in. And get good people around you. I think you're going to need good people around you for sure. And that's it. I think that's it. So this was a bit of a ramble, bit of a mishmash, but I kind of wanted to give a little channel update and my goals moving forward, why I've been a little bit quiet, talk on how some things are affecting us as a whole in society, and then, moving forward, what each gender should really be looking at. I think you're going to need a support system moving forward. So don't put yourself in a place where you're by yourself. Don't do that. I think if you're a man, you can probably do that, but women, please choose your friends wisely. Choose what you're listening to wisely. And I've said this before to the women. The way that you guys can get into these spaces and the stuff just circulates, it's so bad for you. It's so bad for you because you don't know when to stop. I know 2 women specifically, they be up all night scrolling. Crazy to me, but that's how it rolls for y'all. So, yeah, listen, be well out there, stay well, keep your health great, keep working out, keep eating right, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of the Proper Gentleman's Club. Thanks for hanging out. Please give me a like and subscribe. Please comment. Love the comments. I love engaging with you guys. And yeah, I'm wearing my Ohio State gear. That's what it feels like to be a champ. You do what you want. Say what you want. I'll see you guys later.